Dream it, we should do it. Dream it, we should do it. It's the Team 237 show. It's the Team 237 show. Dream it, we should do it. Dream it, we should do it.
Hello and welcome to the Team 237 show, a platform to celebrate the young entrepreneurial age in Cameroon. I am God, the leader, and with me is my co-host Fese.
Young Cameroonians have been breaking ground, and this show is all about celebrating that success and how they've been able to move ahead.
These days, we no longer see young Cameroonians running to get into the civil service to secure jobs, as was the case in the days of old. These days, they're using their passion and creativity to turn into money-making ventures, thereby becoming very, very much self-employed.
Yes, we shall be meeting these young Cameroonians who are going to share with us their journeys to self-development. And on our maiden edition, we shall be meeting the young entrepreneurial founder of Njoku, Churchill Mambe.
Exactly, and besides that, we shall also be addressing some of the major issues that play key role in the lives of young people today, especially with the coming of modern technology and everything else that we have to deal with. But before we go into all that, we shall make a stop at social media to find out some of the major posts and tweets that were sent out by young Cameroonians this week using the Team 237 hashtag. We shall be right back.
It's the Team 237 show.
On Twitter, it's not every day that we see this. Numerica's song La Magie, which is actually making waves in the country, is now playing on MTV Base. It's not every day that we wake up and see a song being sung in French playing on MTV Base, and he's not the first Cameroonian whose song is playing on MTV Base, but it's actually new for him because his songs have been playing on Trace Africa, but this time it has hit MTV Base. And besides that, we also have lots of tweets that were sent out by young Cameroonians using the Team 227 hashtag, and they were all announcing a fashion collection or announcing a new song or announcing a new video, and it all comes back to the fact that whenever they do it, they remember that it's not something that anybody can do alone. It takes a whole team to do that, and which is of course the Team 237. And then now we go to Facebook, where, well, the biggest story on Facebook is the fact that Stanley Enor is actually at the Washington DC, where he is representing the young Cameroonians by attending the Youth Summit on invitation from the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
Oh, he's pushing the button. He's pushing
the
Cameroon
on the map.
Cameroon in the White House.
Cameroon on the map, like he will always tell us. And yes, still on Facebook, we also have information, or we also have a well-celebrated young man. He's actually 40, Big Bassi, whose song Kiki has actually been used by Apple for an app. Tell me, is that not amazing?
Amazing, amazing. I'm so envious right now for getting to Joe.
And of course, we continue to celebrate the Team 227 hashtag because besides all this, like I said, there are also so many songs that were released and announced with the Team 227 hashtag. And the good thing about it is the fact that, like I said earlier, is the fact that people out there understand that, young people understand that it takes a village to actually raise a child, and you cannot actually do it on your own. So that is why you need your Team 237, of course, to be able to do all that. And talking about music now, we talk about Mambe, who used the Team 227 hashtag to thank Cameroonians everywhere for supporting him as he was able to release 5 videos within this year.
Impressive.
Very, very impressive.
I mean, Cyrus actually posted his new song, Amasa, with using the 237.
Of course. If you want to go into all of them, maybe we'll just take the whole day.
I know,
so maybe we'll call it a wrap, and of course, we shall be meeting with our guests in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
It's the Team 237 show.
You're welcome back. You're still watching the Team 237 show, and we are about to meet with a young man who decided to use his passion to grow a business that has made him the founder of one of the most visited websites in Africa. Yes, he's right here seated with us, and he's none other than the Njoku boss himself. Yes, he's the founder of Njoku.com, and he is Churchill Mambe Nanje. Hello, welcome.
Hello, Dan. Thanks.
How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm great. And sitting between two pretty women, I'm super.
Oh, thank you. And probably you're fine, you're great. And if I were the founder of the most visited website, one of the most visited websites in Africa. Trust me. Maybe I'll be fine and great.
I will be as well. I will be as well. I'm very, very fine.
You'll probably be fine and great.
Very, 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 very.
Anyway, it's a pleasure to have you. And everywhere we go now, especially amongst young people, everybody is talking about Joko.com. Probably everybody in Moliko is probably wearing what I have.
I have two actually.
What I have on my wrist right now. And everywhere we turn, we see Joko.com, but not everybody really understands what Joko.com is really about. So maybe you tell us.
Yeah, I understand that we have faced that a couple of times. And Joko.com is all about helping people find jobs. So you visit our website and you're looking for maybe you're into marketing or you're maybe an accountant. You tell Joko, I am an accountant and I'm looking for a job in Cameroon. Do you have any jobs? So Joko now goes on all websites in Cameroon and finds jobs for you and presents you a list of the top 10 most recent jobs. And you'll see and you go through and you can click and you go and apply.
When did all this begin? Like, when did you actually begin all this? What you just told us about it so much?
Yeah, we started on Joko. I wrote the first code by myself in December. I started writing the code sometime in 2010.
I did a little digging, don't mind me, and I found out that you dropped out of school at the advanced level after having 23 points that could get you into any university in Cameroon and dare I say the world. What was the reason, Churchill? Was it financial or were you just a naughty boy?
I'm a very, very heady person, but that's not the only reason. Like,
Okay.
I'm always a strong head. I'm a strong head kind of person.
If I had 23 points, I would be saying that unfortunately I did not even get maybe half of that. Did I even get half?
I'm not going to say what I
I
mean.
didn't even get half of the 23 points, so
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. So it was so easy, the mathematics was so easy, the physics was so easy, and it was not just something
but there were some other things that actually saw a lot of guys that were very smart ahead of me in school. I was in PHS, so the guys were very smart. They left school and they went to the university and they studied. These are very smart people, but I tried to look at what they became after the university. It wasn't much. So, and I didn't want to go to something serious like maybe Polytechnic because I actually had a fight with my mom and my dad. They say you should go to Polytech. I'm like, no, if you want me to go to Polytech, you should go there yourself.
You're really stubborn.
Yeah, I'm very stubborn. Yeah.
So with you not being into the school thing, like okay, you didn't go to university. You could have gone, but you didn't go, and it wasn't because of financial.
No, it wasn't any financial. It was my decision that I am
Okay.
not going to go to university. I am going to get into computers for a year and just to see where that takes me. And after that, I'll decide what I was going to do. But after that year, I stumbled upon a lot of things on the internet. I realized, well, no need for me to go back to the university or go back to even travel or wherever. I just have to start my own business or start doing tech and all that.
Okay, and still talking about digging, because Kesa is not the only one who did the digging. I also did the digging, and I found out that after your 23 points at the advanced level, you went to become a teacher at a technology institution, and that was immediately after your advanced level. So when did you get the time to learn enough to be able to teach
To become a
others?
teacher.
No, actually, I spent 1 year in Moliko in the cyber cafes learning how these things work. And after that 1 year, Peter actually hired me to teach. You know, because there's this young guy that's doing these crazy things in every side by Moliko. Maybe you should get him to train others.
So you actually did not actually sit in the classroom for somebody to teach you how to become a tech
Nobody
wizard?
taught me how to build
Like
mobile apps. Nobody taught me how to build
Tech wizard, actually.
It's
Tech
like
wizard.
actually just roamed around cyber cafes and was able to come about something like this.
Well, everything's on the internet, so I could learn on my own. You know, like I could solve maths on my own. So what's writing codes?
We all will agree that at the time technology was not all that promising, especially in a community like ours. I'm sure at the time somebody when you used to buy an hour for 1,000 francs.
Technology was nowhere, actually. At that time, going to the cyber was a luxury.
Yeah, it's like an hour for 1,000
Yes,
francs. And you saw yourself, like, where were you going with all this?
Well, I was going to where Bill Gates is. I was a kid that likes adventure. I'm a scientist, so scientists always want to try experiments. So it was an experiment. I didn't know where it was going.
An
I just said,
experiment.
let me just experiment for a year and see where I'll end. And after that year, I saw results, and the results were guiding me. And
Danica, maybe we should start our own experiment. What's going to be yours?
Yeah, maybe I'll experiment on something like, I don't know.
Our experiment on shopping.
Everybody can definitely experiment on shopping, but if you want to experiment on shopping, maybe you have to first of all have some money.
I know.
So with you not being into school, going to be a teacher, you saw yourself like you were just looking forward to being the next big kid.
When you put it like I was a teacher, it sounds like I was a headmaster or something.
Okay, he was not like a headmaster.
Okay,
He was teaching in the high tech.
Let's spice it up. I was an instructor.
An internet whiz and instructor.
Yeah,
okay, he were an instructor. And with all this, you've talked about Bill Gates, like Bill Gates,
like the billionaire Gates.
Okay, so was that like an inspiration that you had, like to be a founder of something one day?
Was he a role model?
Well, I read the story and it inspired me. Yeah.
It's the Team 237 show.
Welcome back. Well, Churchill, this is one thing I really am interested in knowing. If I were your mom and you tell me after 23 points that you want to drop out of school, I will definitely not support you. So we want to know, and I'm sure Dalila is identified now as well, how did your family take it? How did your family, your mom, your dad, your siblings, how did they respond to this crazy dream of stepping out of school and becoming something that nobody expected or something that was not seen in our society at that time?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. At the time, I wasn't that much close to my dad. Our relationship was a bit strained. But my mom, on the other part, she's always been supportive of me. And she didn't see anything wrong with what I was trying to do because she had been having issues with me before. We used to argue about things and things and I'm right. So when I was doing this, she was like, okay, Papa, whatever you want to do, I'll support you. So I didn't really have a big deal, but don't get it wrong. My aunt, my uncle, other people in the family, they were like, oh, man, are you going crazy? Like we should call the pastors, this guy, to pray on him.
The same thing I was thinking, maybe you call a pastor, but at the end of the day, you've been able to prove yourself to everybody.
Well, it took, let's say it took 3-4 years. No, actually, after when I started, it took a year. I got a job. They were very happy, so it got easy on me. Then after that, I did something else. Like I said, no, I'll leave this job and start a business. I'm like, what's wrong with this kid? You have a job. People are looking for jobs. And you're leaving the job. I'm like, yeah, I really have this dream of mine. I want to pull it off. And they're like, no, keep that job. Don't do this, don't do that. And we had issues now. They were like, oh man, this guy's going crazy. We need to call maybe a native doctor or call a pastor. In fact, he needs deliverance. There's evil spirit. And well, I kept going. At times, they would even make me doubt myself. Like after running a business, you can run a business for 2 years and you don't have a single client.
I know.
Yeah, so when I was going through that phase and man, and I was seeing all of this, it was so difficult, but I kept going because maybe some people that knew me were saying good things about me. Hey, Churchill, man, you're great, you're doing cool, man, we really want to be in your shoes. And back home, they'll be like, Churchill, you're wasting your time, computer. What's that computer going to give you?
So was that your motivation? People saying, Churchill?
I would say if people were not really commenting about what I was doing, I might have given up, although I have a very strong will. But when people said all of that, it felt like, okay, I'm not on the wrong path, I'm not going mad, I'm not the only one seeing what I'm seeing. You know, if your own family that has always been on your side the whole time come to you and say, what's wrong with you, you're going crazy, you need help, you need this, you need that, then you might start beginning to believe, you might believe them, naturally.
Okay. So with all this, that definitely is one challenge that you face. Are there any other challenges that you face trying to build this business that you have today?
Yeah, I have started a business in Cameroon where everybody that was trying something at the time was either having a small cyber cafe or going into NGOs, charities, so that they can beg money from white people to do some project here and get something. It's really difficult when you want to do business, like set up a company, grow it, employ people. It was difficult first to get approval from family, which was the first thing we talked about. It was also difficult to get people to believe in a 20-year-old guy trying to say he's going
Oh,
to...
you were 20?
Yeah. It's difficult for people to believe in a 20-year-old guy and say, hey, I can build a website of your company and all that. I can build a software to run your company. They're like, who are you? What do you know? Man, go to school. You don't know. This is what rascals. You want to come
Especially considering the fact that websites were not really very popular those days. People just knew that your business had to be like physical. Was that maybe a challenge?
The market too was not there. The what you're trying to say is the market. The market was not ready. So that pushed me to look beyond Cameroon.
So besides that challenge, you still kept on going, and I'm sure it has to do with maybe the passion and the dream that you had.
It's a belief I have in myself. I believe a lot in myself.
So now you had all these challenges, you had all these issues that you had to prove to people. You had to prove to yourself. You had to prove to people. Now, how did you actually begin the business? Like the business itself, how did you begin it? You talked about being an instructor. Was that where you gathered the funds?
I had my savings. I had a salary, of course. So a couple of people started giving me contracts to build websites. I said, okay, I'll quit and start. Yeah.
Okay. So, were you a sole proprietor? Maybe you had.
The first business I started, Afrovision Group Limited, is still a sole proprietorship. I still own it 100%.
It's the Team 237 show.
Yeah, so tell us about Joku, how it all came about, because that's actually what I'm sure everybody out there wants to know how you actually grew this, because let's be sure, which one is giving you more money?
Afrovision Group is giving more money. Joku it will give more money. It's a futuristic project.
Okay, so let's say Afrovision is paying the bills while Joku is making the noise.
Joku is, yes.
Okay, let's talk more about the one that is making the noise. The one that everybody probably wants to know about.
More noise, more value. More value, more money, and large scale. Joku is the kind of business that you can have one employee, which is me, and we can serve 20 million users.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a skill-oriented business like Facebook, like Google, where you can have a few people. Then your human capital doesn't determine your turnover, and it doesn't determine your client base.
Okay, what Dalila is actually trying to say is, how did you move from Afrovision to Njoku?
Like, how was Njoku set up? Because we know a lot about Njoku. Njoku has done a lot for you. Njoku is, if I ask anybody out there that who is Churchill Mambe, they're going to tell me that you're the founder of Njoku. Not very much people know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said,
so that's what we're asking. Like, how did you all begin with Njoku? Like, was it a one-man proprietorship? What was it?
Okay, what happened with Njoku is Afrovision Group has been running for a while, and we were having clients, and I wanted a way to find new people when I have a new contract, to find new people to work for me. And since I'm a tech person, I wanted an easy way that I can use my computer and just find the profiles and call them. And I didn't have any system like that in place. And I had some sites like ubstudents.com on which people will publish jobs, and even jobs that were 4 years old or 2 years old, people will be applying on those jobs. So I realized people wanted to find a way to get jobs online. So it pushed me, these two things, people always using the internet to look for jobs, and me as an employer wanting to quickly recruit people. I set up to build Njoku. I built Njoku like a side project. Yeah, at the time I was building a project for a client in Canada. But on the side, every evening I'll write 1 or 2 lines of code from Njoku. And when I launched it got a lot of attention across Africa. And then I realized, okay, this is going to be a hit. And I had to put more effort in it. I talked with my friend in the US at the time, was my partner, getting contracts and sending to us to deliver. I told him I want to do this, and he was interested. So he became my first partner. So Njoku was set up as a partnership from day one. So over time, we started getting new partners in form of investors and pushing and going forward. Okay,
now coming back to where I'm sure everybody wants to know, like, how does Njoku generate income?
How does the money come?
Like, because being an entrepreneur, we care about the money. If I want to be like you today, it's not because of this wristband that everybody's wearing. It's probably because I may want to have a car or house. So how does the money come in?
For Njoku, the money will come in a couple of ways, right? if we have, let's say, let's just take a hypothesis. If I have 1,000,000 job seekers using the platform in Cameroon, how much will the company be willing to pay to appear in front of 1,000,000 people?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the other option, Joko develops technologies for recruitment. So we offer solutions for recruitment companies to use the internet to publish job, track applications, and be able to do their recruitment digitally on their own website. So these solutions are valuable, and since they are valuable, companies of course pay for it.
So Dalida, youths don't need to say every day, oh, I don't have a job, I don't have a job.
He has created a platform where people can actually do that. Well, we took a tour to Joko office, that is to where he actually does all the things that he does. I'm sure you'd like to see it, so maybe we'll go check it out. We'll be right back.
It's the Team 237 show.
So I'm happy to have you guys around, and I would like to show you guys our setup and our operation.
Okay.
First, we have to go to the lab outside. This is actually our first lab, the smaller lab out here. And here we have mostly interns and content people. They manage most of our content sites across Africa.
Okay, I'm calling it lab 1.
Okay,
So this is Joko Inner Sanctuary.
yeah, this is the kitchen.
And this is where the real
This is where they cook. Is that this is the kitchen?
This is where the real
Oh,
This is where the real ninjas are. That guy.
Okay, so
That's ninja number
Yes, that's
1.
ninja.
Bando.
That's the Mizushima.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, this is my office. You guys should sit down.
Oh, thank you.
So this is where you sit, and this is where like you control everything from out there. How do you get to see everything happening out there? It means you're always moving.
Oh, well, I have a lot of meetings, so I'm always here. But when I'm working with the teams, I have to go there and work with them.
Okay.
And either the lab or I call a meeting and we work together.
Okay,
So do
you
you-
see like files?
Yeah, every file is in the cloud.
So this is the Joko boss himself. This is his office, and this is where he does his everything. And like he said, he has everything inside here. Not really inside here in the cloud, like.
This part is actually like
Seats.
Really relaxed.
So yeah, if people don't want to work in the lab, they can take their laptops and sit here and work, or have a short meeting, or just come and clear up their brain from maybe anything.
Okay.
Just want it to be a bit casual.
I can definitely clear my head here because just sitting here, I think I feel very relaxed.
The reception, you just wanted something like a home.
It's the Team 237 show. It's the Team 237 show. Dream it, wish it, do it.
So I heard that Joko actually means elephant.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, so I just saw that now and I'm like, so it actually means elephant.
Yeah,
Actually
just
means elephant. And all the
elephant.
things.
But when people say Joku, there's the other people, when you guys don't say Joku, there are a lot of people say Joku. I'm trying to Nigeria saying Joku.
The bacteria.
Yes,
The bacteria.
Okay, but which Joko says elephant?
all of them say elephant.
All of them say elephant.
Yeah,
Even from.
the one I'm using is the one from the Barbary people. Actually, this is Jolandis. Jolandis is an intern from Chile. Thank you guys for coming to our small feet, and I hope you guys will come when we become a bigger office.
Definitely.
Trust me, first of all, it's not small, and wish you all the best. If you want to grow bigger, it's always good to grow bigger, so
I know.
we wish you all the best as you strive to get bigger. This is really awesome. Alright.
Wish it, do it, dream it, wish it, do it, It's the Team 237 show. It's the Team 237 show.
Well, you're welcome back, and that was the Joko office. Like, that is actually where everything happened. But besides owning that amazing office, we also know of this big news that Forbes Africa paid you a visit in that particular office. So right now, you just have to tell us about it.
Yeah, there was a Forbes team that came to shoot an interview. It was about l'Afrique numérique, like the digital age of Africa. Yeah, they were looking at some French-speaking Africans or Africans in the francophone zone, in the French countries, since Cameroon is considered a francophone country, and Joko operates in two other francophone countries. So they came to find out how we're doing what we do, and so they could tell the world that okay, in Africa there are people doing something back home to change the image of Africa that they see on CNN every day and all that. So yeah, they came and they shot a brief interview of like 30 minutes, and they took it back to France. They were all the way from France, so yeah.
Or sometimes thinking that when you get on Forbes, they actually talk about you only when you've made a certain amount of money. So I was thinking that maybe they came there because you're one of the people to be at least these days. Well, it's actually very impressive what you just told us, because that means Cameroon is not only on the map in music and other things, but also in tech.
Football, yeah. It's not just music and football. No,
so brains have actually. So
science and technology. Yeah.
Okay. You know, I'm the one who does all the digging. Yeah. I would like to ask.
Yeah.
And I'm sure our viewers would like to know as well. Churchill.
Yeah.
Is there a special lady or but is that the space for David and I, because we don't mind sharing?
Okay.
Actually, it's complicated.
It's not that complicated. You either have a family already, or you're maybe working on it, or you're.
I'm not married, if that's one of the things, and
kids.
I don't have kids. Unfortunately, I don't have kids, and there is no fiance somewhere hanging around.
So there's actually good news for any young lady out there who has the dream of marrying one of the tech giants that we have in Cameroon. So there's good news for everybody out there. Anyway, we'll go on a short break right now and we'll just be right back.
It's the Team 237 show.
You're welcome back, and you're still watching the Team 237 show. So we're going to step away from you, Churchill, right now to talk about something which is a major issue, especially with the young Cameroonians. In fact, young people everywhere, because it's not just Cameroonians, but because, of course, it is the Team 237 show, we are going to relate it to our society. It's something that has made young people to actually lose their minds. Vesta, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, definitely. The internet.
The internet is playing a major role in the lives of young people these days, and many people are calling it a blessing and a curse. And if you ask me, I'll say the same thing, because indeed it is a blessing. Probably, Churchill, you'll not be the boss of our bosses.
I won't be able to write codes, I won't be able to do contracts.
If it wasn't for the internet.
I would be able to have this shoe.
Because we shop online. Well, there's so many things that we'll probably not be able to do without the internet. But again, many of us are blowing it out of proportion, and that is because we all have gotten so addicted. Like, this is how we move these days on the road. And if you go somewhere, if you go to maybe a snack, or you go to a conference, or you go to anywhere that has young people sitting, this is what happens. Everybody is in their phone or tablet or laptop or anything, and all they're doing is making sure that the internet has a toll on them.
Actually, there's this abbreviation that is used, GTB, Génération Tête Baissée. Everybody is always down. Like your head, generation of bent heads.
It's like our heads never go up, and that is because of the internet.
I don't even blame them, because I think they're also using joke all the time, so they're
well, good for you, but not good for the society.
Good for people who are having accidents.
Of course, it's not good for the society, because when you get so addicted to the internet, when do you study, and when do you actually have the time to think about doing something that could be positive? That could be a positive contribution to your life. Not everybody has businesses online.
237 show.
We took our cameras to the streets, and this is what young people had to say about the internet.
Pour moi, Internet, c'est quelque chose de vraiment bien parce qu'il permet de faire des rencontres, de faire plusieurs recherches, de se retrouver sur le net. Tu peux retrouver plusieurs informations par rapport à ton école, à ton travail, des informations à propos du monde. Tu retrouves plusieurs trucs et c'est vraiment très intéressant. Pour moi, c'est une bonne chose. Si tu l'utilises bien sûr.
Yes, I think generally the internet has come with both positive and negative consequences, you know, and I think that whatever may be the case, everything depends on the user. Yes, it depends on the user. It depends on the way we use it. There are some people who abuse the internet. There are some people who make good use of it. For instance, one of the benefits I have from the internet today is that it helps me to carry out my research, it facilitates my studies, unlike in the days before now when people were straining a lot to get information and the rest. So yeah, it has positive and negative consequences, but at the end of the day, what I say is it depends on the user of the internet.
The internet, as far as I'm concerned, is quite good and bad, Good in the sense that it has broken our borders. It has made us, reach out to people we've never reached out to. It has made us to create communities where there were no communities. As a matter of fact, in the field of research, in the field of education, in the field of work, health, and all those things, communication specifically, the internet is doing a very beautiful job. On the other hand, the internet has a lot of bad faces. Recently on my Facebook page, I had a lot of pornographic pictures posted by some app developers, and all those things, they add up to some of the wickedness of the internet. I call it wickedness because some of these things you don't plan them, but they happen to you because you are helpless in the face of the internet. Generally, I would say the internet is good, but it is also bad.
Everything has a positive and negative influence. The internet, it can only be more of positive or more of negative, but everything has positive and negative. But in general, for me, I think the internet is a resourceful technology that has come. I'm glad that we have it now. Although there are setbacks, maybe some immoral things people see on the internet, others go to scam and others like that, but I think there are more positive aspects than negative from the internet that we can learn or encourage many youths to cling to the internet. Those who have not started using it, or encourage them to use it.
It has made young people to be very crazy. You see, walking around, you see them in the taxi, you see them when they go around, they are so concentrated on it. Probably they might be getting informations. I don't know, but I think it has really it makes them go crazy, just being crazy. The informations they found on the internet, like you see them on WhatsApp, Facebook, Google Play, and the rest.
There are sometimes you don't have credit to communicate with parents or relatives outside the country. You can still go through the net and communicate with them. On the disadvantages, youth of today, some of us, we do go to the net. We go after looking for husbands and wives that we don't even get to know who they are, and other stuffs they use, like some of them go to internet downloading useless videos like the pornography. So
I think the internet is a wonderful addition to the tech world. Since it came here, so we revolutionized the way we see things, the way we do things. Yeah, personally, I use it a lot. I'm a teacher and I use it for my research. I use it to get new articles. I basically live on the internet. Yeah, I think a world without the internet, gosh, I can't even dream about it. And I just hope that we could, get to use it more and more. Yeah, there may be a few disadvantages because, especially our younger generation of today, people like us, our age, and even our younger brothers and sisters out there, they tend to use it for kind of wrong purposes too. And the internet, it doesn't have restriction, especially in a country like us. It's free for you to Google or get whatever you want to get from the internet. So young generations, they go out there, get things which they were not supposed to get. For example, pornographic movies, pornographic pictures, and if only we could have a way of restricting the content which is being given on the internet, maybe age-wise and all that, I believe it's going to be a perfect or something out there.
I think on young people it has both positive and negative effects, because when it comes to the positive effects also, it offers them opportunities to do research online, also online libraries that they can read any book at any time. But also apart from that, you also have negative effects also on the youth of today. For example, it exposes them to scamming, pornography, hacking into people's accounts, and many others. That's a few I can name for now.
It's the Team 237 show.
Welcome back to the Team 237 show. Interesting responses from the youths out there. Anyways, there are other ways to use the internet. The internet is a mixed blessing. There are actually positive ways to use the internet. You can use the internet for education. You can use it to search on your projects. You can use the internet for shopping. A lot of things. I'm sure we all agree that the internet has its positive sides.
Of course, it definitely has.
Yeah, definitely. The internet is where I grew up. I couldn't become who I am today without the internet. Like I said, I was spending time in a cyber cafe. So people can use the internet to study. You can become the best accountant in Cameroon through the internet. You can be the expert in financial systems. You can become a web developer, a software developer, a fashion designer. In essence, the internet helps you to grow your business. You start from passion. You have a service you're selling. With the internet, you can scale it to from 1,000 people to 10,000 people. So having a basic website, using social media, targeted marketing and all that. With the internet, you can become a millionaire in Boya without leaving this country. So yeah, the internet is very, very positive, and it's not just WhatsApp or Viber or email. It's also the business, sales, strategy, company and all that. Yeah.
It's the Team 237 show.
You're welcome back. You're still watching the Team 237 show, and we're still here with the founder of Njoku.com. Whether Churchill, you are like an inspiration for so many people out there that I know, because so many people have told me, young people have told me, and I'm sure that they are looking up to you and wishing to be you someday. So what do you have to tell all those young techies out there who are watching?
Yeah, I think the most important thing for a techie out there is to focus on getting the skills. Because when you have the skills, if you want to become a developer, or you want to become a salesperson, or you want to become a marketing person, because these are the fields in our tech world, you should focus and acquire the skills. Make sure you know everything in that field that you have chosen to your fingertips. The skills are important. I took 2 years to become a perfect developer before I got into business. So when you get the skills, you might not even need to do much marketing. You work with a few clients and people will start referring you and calling you. So the most important thing, the advice I'll give them, you shouldn't rush into maybe making money or hear, oh, this guy had a contract of $1 million or 5 million or 12 million and you want to start making money. No, you need to take your time, acquire the skills, because over time when you start seeing the money, you won't have that time to be able to learn. And when you don't have the time to learn, you become limited, like some people I know in Douala, or these Lagos boys are always sharp. And over time, you have limitations. So get the skills, focus and get the skills, and then you'll now be able to get into business. So that's the number one thing. And you should be passionate about it. If you're passionate about selling products, focus on that. If you're passionate about building products, focus on that. If you're passionate about making sure people use your product, you should focus on that. So all these from either you're passionate about engineering, or you're passionate about marketing, or passionate about sales, because all of that is what will make you better. So get the skills before thinking about the money.
Of course, so that is very important, passion, because whoever follows their passion, I trust me, there's no better way to becoming successful than going after what you're passionate about. And if you have a dream, then you should chase the dream, just like Churchill did, because if you do not chase your dream, you will spend the rest of your life working for somebody who actually did it. So you actually spend the rest of your life working for somebody who did. And now, Churchill, coming back to you, you've made Cameroon so proud, and we can't thank you enough. There are not enough words that we can use to say thank you for flying the flag so high and for putting Cameroon on the map when it comes to technology. But well, what's that? What can we say? Silver and gold. Silver
and gold had we not.
We have none, but we can actually give you this so that you can actually continue to represent.
Oh man, and
Team 237.
And it's actually my size. How is it?
It's
perfect. And it's perfect, yeah.
Show it over for us.
Yeah, definitely. It means I'm going to be representing.
So it says dream it, wish
yeah, you
it,
see that?
and do it.
I'm actually I'm humble. Like my Nigerian brothers say, I'm humble. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And whatever you're doing out there, please do not forget to use the Team 237 hashtag on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so that we can all come back here next week and be able to talk about all the amazing things that the young Cameroonians out there are up to.
It's the Team 237 show.
And just like the slogan behind the t-shirt says, remember, if you have any dream, don't just dream it, wish it and do it, because when you just dream about it, trust me, it ends at the dream stage. So if you believe in your dreams, if you're passionate about something, dream it, wish it and do it. And that is how we are going to call it quits right here. Fese, are you ready to let go of the handsome gentleman?
Not really. No. Anyways, thank you for watching Team 237 show.
So we shall be meeting with more and more young entrepreneurs in Cameroon who are what? Game changers. Yes, they are game changers. They are no longer waiting on the government, but rather they are contributing to the positive growth of Cameroon. Building the Cameroon dream is what we're doing. And yes, it is to Team 237.
And don't forget to
any day, anytime, Team 237. Together we can do this. Bye bye.
Show. It's the Team 237 show. Dream it, wish it, do it. 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 It's the Team 237 show. It's the Team 237 show. Dream it, wish it, do it. Dream it, wish it, do it. It's the Team 237 show. It's the Team 237 show.